A warm welcome and a heartfelt namaste to all of you. Welcome back once again, and we continue in the series of Rahu in the seventh house. Rahu in the seventh house gives us a strong public life, more when we see what the seventh house actually means. Rahu in the seventh house. The seventh house stands for Yuvati, Marg, Bharya, Marg. When translated, they mean the youth. Marg means the road, Bharya means wife, Marg means the killer. Karak is Jaya or union, and it also denotes all our earthly ties, the way we present ourselves to the public in general. Ruler of this house is Venus for male and Jupiter for females. Body part that it rules is Basti area, that is the area below the navel, the colon, the internal genitals, and the urinary tract. The timing of the events we see is marriage and divorce. Family members would constitute husband or wife, that is spouse, the second child, the third younger brother or sister. Mental makeup for this house becomes that of conjugal life, sex, liaisons, and others. The social status that this house represents is that of reputation and influence in foreign countries, love and marriage. Financial aspect is all about trade, legal bonding, litigations, lawsuits. And Pronus is Marak. This house is essentially a Marak house. Career can lead us to reputation and work in foreign lands. The seventh house representation. The seventh house represents love, marriage, married life, marriage partner, sex life. It can be love in any form, love through emotional aspects, love based on physical charm, love or marriage union based on the intellectual ability of a person. The power to attract a person would also may cause the love and marriage, and that would also fall in this preview. It could be a marriage which is contractual in nature, that is a contract marriage. It could also be arranged marriage as per the eyes and the laws of the society. It could be a marriage which is recognized by law, family, society, marriage for a small period, that is contract marriage, marriage which is change of faith, religion, domicile. It also represents extramarital affairs which move into marriage, and it is the physical relationships of any kind with any person. It also denotes divorces, it denotes separation. The nature of the divorce can also be found out from the seventh house. It also denotes the private parts of the body, and if badly afflicted, this can show the sexually transmitted diseases. Let us move on to our example. The first example we take is Queen Elizabeth II. But before we take an example, let us talk about the effects. Yes, the effects. I would wait till the last to take up some of the effects for all the three examples that I'm taking up so that we have a better understanding. Queen Elizabeth II is British royalty. She is the Queen of England and the head of the Commonwealth of the United Kingdom. She became a queen at the age of 25 when her father passed away. As a British monarch, she had seen many changes in the British institution. She has been one of the first reigning monarchs to use the technology. Emails were the first used by her as a monarch. She has been a very tech-savvy person and learned all of them as she came across them. She has seen major changes in the world and taken it all in her stride. Gone ahead and made changes in her thought process to accommodate all kinds of people and all kinds of changes in her life. She's been a very strong person in terms of her interpersonal relationships, be it with the children, grandchildren, or great grandchildren. She has also been a very caring person when it comes to her tenants on her estates. She's said to know about all of them and care a lot for their well being. very much an animal lover. She is said to have her own stables with horses, and love for her puppy is well known. She's considered to be one of the world's wealthiest women, and she's the first one in the monarchy to pay tax from her personal wealth. For all of us who love brands, Giorgio Armani is no unknown figure. An Italian designer and an award winning top star, he created the fashion industry of his own in just 15 years. As a youth, he studied medicine, but he became an assistant to menswear buyer, and finally he became a fashion coordinator in Milan. Working under somebody, he moved ahead, became a freelancer, and in 1975, he opened his own house. He became the president and founder of Giorgio Armani Corps and Boutiques and made a fortune out of it. A person very much into maintaining his own health, very conscious about his food habits, health habits. He has a very strong sense of right and wrong, spirituality. He was the first person to stop working with any model who had the BMI of lower than 18 because one model starved herself to death due to anorexia. He owns he owns a basketball team. He has a very strong public life. However, his personal life is very much close and private. Declaring himself as a bisexual, he went on to have a very strong relationship with the architect of his own company. A very private person, he likes to keep his private life under tight wraps. Amitabh Bachchan, Indian film actor, producer, singer, and TV host. He first gained popularity in the early 1970s as the angry young man of Hindi cinema. He has had more than 4 decades of film career wherein he has worked for more than 180 movies. The one to always insist the one to always insist on improvisation. He's a methodical actor and known to be a director's actor. He is extremely careful about his work and he takes good care of people around him. He has very strong relationships with his children and grandchildren in spite of running such tight and strong, heavy schedules. One of the very strong points about him is that he is a very courteous, a very polite person, and this gives him a very strong hold over the dignitaries and the common man alike. The show that he hosts, KBC, a takeoff on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, has been a repeated success because of the host also. He is one of those people who, in spite of his tall stature, can put the common man to so much of comfort that the person can really concentrate on the game and consider him as not just as a good host but also as a friend on stage. Now let us look at what Rahu in the seventh house denotes. There's a need to establish a strong public life. Giorgio Armani and Amitabh Bachchan rose from very humble heights. Queen Elizabeth, after moving on to the throne, had expanded her public life and today is known as one of those monarchs who has had the privilege to be most seen and pictured, worldly wise and yet spiritual, taking care of their employees, being aware of the needs of even their children and grandchildren. At the same time, being very polite in society takes a lot of toll, takes a lot of self courage, and these people have gone ahead and shown that. There's a rise of imposition after marriage. Janjeet for Amitabh Bachchan was the breakthrough, and it is then that he married Jaya Bachchan. Break in marriage if other factors are also afflicted. We need to see that in detail. This is something that is proven time and again, but the seventh house and the seventh lord has to show a lot of affliction before this works out for everybody. Believe in an individual setup of work rather than working in any major houses. As we saw in Giorgio Armani's case, finally he set up his own business and he prospered like the oak tree and grew tall and is still growing strong. These people are good at handling people at large. They know how to make their public persona felt and understood. They need to understand. However, there is a strong need to work on interpersonal relationships. So, Rahu in the seventh house generally denotes a need to make yourself felt in the public. It is a very strong house where marriage is also taken into consideration. For all those who fear that Rahu in the seventh house would cause break in their marriage, well, for you have a news there. Queen Elizabeth is still going strong in her marriage and she got married at a very early age, and today, even at the age of 92, her marriage is still strong. So, we could not come to a conclusion that Rahu in the seventh house is weak, is bad. We need to have other factors in consideration before we doom a person's marriage bad or good when Rahu is in the seventh house. With that thought, do stay tuned to my channel to know more on Rahu in the seventh house, and may the stars keep us safe, may they keep us strong.